Alright, happy Thanksgiving. So I went on a 20-hour fast today, but I was thinking about another time in my life where I had a different kind of eating disorder problem. It wasn't really binge eating, but a different kind of problem one Thanksgiving. And how sometimes I instinctively run into the same problem every Thanksgiving because I made a good memory out of it and the reflection that I have for the event. What had happened was I was 17 years old and I developed a major fear of flying. We had just gone through 9/11, and my family and I had traveled to Taiwan the year after 9/11. We got home, and not long after that, Columbia crashed. And I swore I was never going to fly again. My mom was so upset at that remark because at the time, three of my grandparents lived in Taiwan. And my mom said, "Don't you think it's your obligation to go see them if something were to go wrong?" And so my mom suggested that I had to fly at least three more times in my lifetime. But I couldn't fathom that. I thought one day we might have a train that goes through the Bering Strait. And my dad said, "Do you realize how dangerous that is? You might not even survive one journey to Taiwan." My dad's a chemical engineer, so he would know that. And so, Thanksgiving 2004, my family went on vacation without me. I was 17 years old. I was going to college at the time, and I was trying to lose some weight to impress a girl in the classroom. And that Thanksgiving, I had blown my diet. I was trying to eat 3,000 calories, but before I knew it, I had already eaten 5, 6, 7,000 calories. And I felt like, I might as well make this the grand cheat day, right? Eat everything that I've been depriving of myself of for months now, right? Because I had been trying to lose weight for multiple months by this point. We lived in a small town. I went to the local grocery store to get a 10-pound bag of potatoes and some coconut oil. Went back home, made my favorite French fries, and wolfed it all down. 10 pounds of potatoes. And now I felt like I had really blown and I might as well eat everything I've been putting off. Went back to the store, got some more food, and went home, wolfed it all down. I repeated that three times at least. And on my third, you gotta remember, I felt like a mess. For one thing, I was 17 years old. I was still a virgin. I just felt like a loser altogether. Even though I was going to college, I had no social skills whatsoever. I was trying to lose some weight so that I could at least practice talking to this girl in the classroom. And I had all sorts of problems in my life. I had sworn off flying. I couldn't even go on a vacation. I just felt like a loser. And I got out to the store again and I collapsed on a park bench. This is around the time of Thanksgiving. And we live in a small town, and the local police officer knew me and my family and asked me what I had been up to. He thought that I had been using drugs. I wanted to make light of a situation, and so I answered him like, "Yeah, I've been using the drug called food." And this is a small town police officer. He asked me what that was the code name for. He must have assumed food meant something like cocaine or something like that. I said, "No, food, literally food." He didn't believe me. Now, by this time of the day, my parents had already been on their way home. They were at Pittsburgh International Airport when my dad answered the phone. It was the Murraysville police. And he confirmed to the police officer that I did have eating difficulties. I was trying to lose weight, and sometimes I would slip up like that. So he confirmed to the officer. And the officer told my dad that I'd be waiting at the police station for him. My parents came to pick me up. They were so upset. They were already upset that I couldn't join them on vacation. And my mom was especially upset that I had caused them so much concern on their way back from the airport. My mom angrily screamed, said that She made my dad worry so much on the drive home from the airport to the police station that they could have had an accident or something like that. So I got a pretty big spanking, and I was grounded. I wasn't allowed to walk to the store for many weeks after that. But you know what? I had such a nice, warm discussion with the police officer who cared so much about me to chat with me for an hour or so while my parents were driving home from the airport. Sometimes on Thanksgiving, to this day, I still slip up because of how nice a warm feeling I got that time. And another problem with Thanksgiving, thankfully I live by myself, so this is no longer a problem. Sometimes there's a lot of food available, and sometimes my stomach is already rejecting the food, but I'm having such a good time, I just keep wanting to put food in my mouth. I still run into that sometimes, but I remind myself there's plenty of opportunity to try all this new food, right? Especially if you stop abusing your body, you're going to have even more years to enjoy this food. There's no need to rush, right? Anyways, come a long way from 17 years since that nice warm conversation I had with the police officer. But you know what? By not abusing myself, I'll probably have more years to enjoy having a good friend like that in my life.